While it may seem this way, the truth is the learning outcomes of your classes are all connected to each other. For example, your humanities class and your biology class may not seem related, but you learn essential researching and critical thinking skills in your humanities class that you can use in your biology class. All of your learning at Solid Community College builds on each other. It's all connected. Your ePortfolio also benefits your instructors. Your instructors can get to know you by what you choose to share on your ePortfolio. Your ePortfolio provides instructors with helpful feedback. Your instructors can see if you are learning what they intended to teach by reviewing the signature assignments and reflections in your ePortfolio. Your ePortfolio benefits the school as a whole. Salt Lake Community College uses ePortfolios to assess the general education program rather than giving standardized tests. Assessing ePortfolios can enhance the learning at the college. So, to recap, an ePortfolio can help you learn by giving you a place to reflect on and showcase your work, by connecting what you've learned in each class to each other, and by allowing you to see your progress throughout your education. As a result, your ePortfolio benefits you, your teachers, and the college as a whole. Pretty neat, huh? We hope this video has been helpful for you. If you haven't
You're muted.
Thanks. That's one community college's video explaining to their students why ePortfolios are important. I know in our district, all of the ed techs, we worked together to kind of push the initiative out at the schools, but it's been kind of going out in varying levels. So today we're going to be showing you how to create kind of the shell. If you were rolling it out like on the school level, but as a classroom teacher, you could also make an ePortfolio for just your class, and then if your school decides to do an ePortfolio for the whole school, then the kids would then just embed a link to your class's ePortfolio on the page in their school-wide ePortfolio.
Welcome to Salt Lake.
Nope. Okay, I'm gonna let Brianna take this part.
Yeah. So this is just a brief, as many of you know or might not know, we have a district-wide technology plan, and that plan is updated every 3 years. There's a committee of teachers that gets together, and we look at the goals and the needs and the action items and the data around ed tech, and then we modify or adjust our plan as needed, and then that plan gets presented to the board and approved. And so it was supposed to get updated this year, but because of COVID and all of that and the lack of subs, we've held it off. So next year there will be a committee. And so if that's something you're interested in, be on the lookout for emails to join that committee. But I wanted to point out that one of our big goals in our SUHSD technology plan is the performance, is to help eliminate the performance and opportunity gap by having students be college and career ready, which is one of our LCAP goals. And so we have a lot of data that shows a need for that. And so one way that the committee felt we could lessen that gap is by having opportunities for students to establish and reinforce their digital footprint by creating and maintaining and evaluating ePortfolios. So I just wanted to point in the link to our district-wide technology plan and ePortfolios. And these are quotes. So these are the same quotes that you saw right in our SLAM. So what some students at Rancho have said about ePortfolios. We have had several school sites try to roll out site-wide ePortfolios with not much success, but Rancho has had quite the success this year rolling it out in their advisory. And then there's been several teachers there. Shout out to Miss Natalie Bernasconi or Dr. Bernasconi, who has really helped push this initiative along over there at Rancho. So we thought we would take a few minutes and explore this article that talks just a little bit about ePortfolios, theory and practice. So we're going to put that link in the chat, and then we're going to give you a few minutes to skim through it and be ready to share maybe something that you saw that helped you be more clear on ePortfolios, or something that you're thinking is going to be challenging about ePortfolios. You're not going to have time to read the whole thing, but let's say about 6 minutes.
And I will set the timer. All right, that's 1 minute left on the timer.
So we know that's probably not enough time to read it all, but as you're wrapping up whatever final parts you're skimming through or reading through, if you want to, some people are already sharing in chat, or you can unmute maybe something that's more clear to you after reading through that, or something that is still challenging your thinking about ePortfolios. Let's see. So students are in charge, not the teacher. Students are critically assessing and reviewing which documents that they want to add, that it sounds like it might be a lot of work, but really rewarding. That it allows students to take control and feel like they can make their own and have ownership. Something that challenges me is how to teach them how to choose what to put on their site. So that, let's see, students have choice, reflection. It helps students learning, really helps them think about their learning. Hard to do at first, but they do it often. They go back and revise, teaches them a skill. Nice. So appreciate that you're seeing positives and also things that might be a struggle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from my own experience, having done this with my class, it is like, it's definitely that first initial setup of like the shell. That's, I mean, it's definitely challenging, especially depending on like the grade level. And although I will say that after COVID distance learning, like the kids have a little bit more familiarity with, you know, tech pieces that they didn't have before. Yes, I have several student examples for you.
Yeah, we can go on to the next
slide.
slide. And so I just added this slide this morning because yesterday in my authentic assessment training, we were talking, I pitched at the end about how ePortfolios are one really great tool for authentic assessments. And so I briefly mentioned this idea of collecting, selecting, reflecting, and connecting. So when you're making ePortfolios, it's really this secular thing, right? Students are collecting artifacts. They're making things in all of their classes, right? Digital evidence. That they're then able to put onto their portfolio. And so from the things that they've done, from their artifacts that they're learning, they then have to select the items that they feel best demonstrate competencies and achievements. So it really depends on what type of ePortfolio you're setting up or what they want to showcase from the work that they have done, that they have collected. So once they select that item, then they can really think deeply about what that item demonstrates. What does it demonstrate? What parts of effective learning does it demonstrate, or what experience did they have when they created it, how it made them feel, maybe what they felt they did really well at, or what they feel they could do better at next time, right? And so it's really that metacognitive thinking about thinking, which we know based on research is one way that really helps move students along in their learning. And then that last piece is connecting it. So when you're putting it onto a live website, you're able to make connections with the greater world. So they're able to share it with their parents, with maybe jobs, with colleges. And then so they're taking their learning, which might seem like it lives in a silo at the school, and they're making it personal, and they're making it related to the community and to their life.
And to answer one of the questions, do we have student examples for you? There are 5 of them. Each of the banners, I guess. The snipped banners are links. They're hyperlinks. So did everyone get a copy of the slides from the chat a while back when they first entered? So if you go to this slide 9, slide 9, like I said, are hyperlinks. Do we want to give like a time limit to let them explore? Do I grade them at Rancho? So no. So right now, what we did at Rancho was roll out the shells for like creating, creating the pages for each one of their academic course classes, they created a page for their digital citizenship, for their community service, for their extracurriculars. So we created like the big, like overarching, like academic shell. And then it's kind of up to the teacher to then, the content teachers to then help the students populate the pages that are for their own classes.
Yeah, and then I do think like it could be helpful once you have students doing it for some time, like if you partnered up like classes, maybe even like upper grades and lower grades, so that they could peer review each other, so they could see examples of what it looks like as they continue to do it, and then older students could give feedback to younger students. I think it might be helpful if you just click on one of those and maybe go through it, and then in the sandbox they can
Sure.
look at more.
Okay. Yeah, I would say too, like our overarching goal, I think the idea would be to have a senior day where the seniors present their ePortfolios at the end of the year. And like, this is what I've done in my, my 4 years here at Rancho San Juan, and do kind of a, I don't know, like a senior fair, if you will. But that's just kind of, we barely have our first set of seniors. So, okay, let's go into. So this is Trisha Patel. You'll notice that she has a landing page. So her quote, she has a Bitmoji. She has an all about me paragraph. And then over on the left-hand side, she has a sub page that is an introduction to herself and what she feels are her strongest attributes and what she is like passionate about. And then she also has a page for her academic plan, which, like I said, these are all in different stages of completion, but the page exists. And then over here, there are sets of sub pages. So if you were to click here, this is her sophomore year. And so she has a page for English 10, Math 2, AP Euro, Spanish 3, Leadership, and NGS 2. She has a set of pages for, oh, wait, is it moving for you guys? Yeah, okay. She has a set of pages for, again, AP English, US History, all of the things that she took last year, and then these are her senior classes here. Again, this is just the landing page, and then you would go into the English page, the government page. So again, our seniors, this is the first year that they've done this. So a lot of they made all these pages in an effort to begin to populate them, but some of them haven't quite got there yet. They also have pages for college and career. So things that she's interested in, where she wants to go, different careers that she's interested in pursuing. She's got activities. So she has like a leadership page and Interact Club page. She has kind of like an overall 2021 reflection page for herself. Was that helpful for you guys to see?
Yes. Is there any way we have access to that to show the students? Or I really wanted to go through it and look at this AP Spanish language.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, not all of these are fully complete. Do you know what I mean? Like these are, because Rancho San Juan's the first school, I think, to like do it site or school wide. Some of these seniors are just, they made all these like pages, but they haven't actually put stuff on them yet. And yeah, this whole website is, or this whole slideshow is available for you, and it's anyone can view it. So you could show students this slide 9, or you could make a copy of this slide 9 and put it out there for students to look.
So there's not necessarily like an outline that they can copy and paste, but there is an outline of pages that they can use to like create their own. One thing that's unfortunate is that with most Google tools, like you can make a copy for everybody, but in a Google
Mhm.
Sites, you can't. We were trying to find a way to like make a base and then allow students to all make a copy of that. But you can't do that with Google Sites. So, but there is like templates for what pages they would create, but they would have to create their own.
Yeah, so this one is this is one of my former students, Yulissa, and she did actually take some time to populate her AP US History page, and she included she was super proud of her civil rights essay and the model that she made, and some of the different posters that she was able to make throughout her time in APUSH. So this is like how one could look. I would say she didn't do this while she was in my class. This was something she did later, and because we didn't do this last year. And if I was her teacher now and we were doing this, I would definitely have her, like, she would need to add reflections for what she learned and what skills that she got out of like each one of these assignments that she put in here, right? So if she's selecting an artifact, you know, like her civil rights project, like why did you choose this? What did you learn, not just content wise, but like skills wise? Like what are you going to take forward, you know, into your professional career, college career, that kind of thing. Yeah, so if you're looking to do this site wide, like there is a playlist of videos that shows step by step how to make them. Each video is about 5 minutes long, and each video focuses on creating a different portion of the ePortfolio. You know, step one is just creating the site, and then every video from that is like adding landing pages, adding sub pages. So we have at Rancho, we have all of that that I'm more than willing to share. And Brianna, you added this one.
Yeah, I mean, there's just some resources that you can go back and look at later if you want some tutorials or Google Sites, and then other information about digital portfolios. So that is like stuff you can come back to later.
Perfect. Yeah, Janelle, you're absolutely correct. Sherilyn had created a playlist like this too, like 2 years back or last year maybe. So yeah, so there's definitely resources out there that have videos that are step by step if you are feeling, you know, like you can't demo it live. But I will tell you that for me, it was better to demo it live with my students on the board and then walk around between each step to make sure each one was like doing it. It took longer, but I feel like it was more beneficial. Okay, you guys ready to make a Google site? Because that's the next step. Yeah? Okay. All right, I'm going to stop sharing for a second. Share a window. Uh-oh, I'm stuck. Ah. Am I there? I feel like I'm lagging. I don't know what's happening.
Is your screen frozen?
Yeah, it seems like I'm.
Like I can hear you and see you moving, but I don't see anything on your screen moving.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me just. Technical difficulties, guys. I don't know what's going on. I went to present my whole screen because you need to be able to see the tabs, and it's not working. Okay. I don't know, Gan, you might have to present.
What happens when you click on, there it's working. I mean,
Okay.
I'm seeing the slides change, but.
Yeah, it's just lagging. Okay, so the first thing that you need to know is that you're creating a Google site. So like, how do you do that? And so this is what you would demo for the kids. So the easiest way to do that, if you have never created a Google site before, is to open your Drive. Once you have opened your Drive, you will click on the New Plus button, go to More, and then click on Google Sites. So Waffle, Drive. My internet's lagging really bad.
Do we choose a template or a blank?
I would choose a blank.
Yeah, you can just go to sites and the plus sign also.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. I took a Benadryl and it made me sleepy too, but it clears up my.
Yep, that's correct. You can do that. Are we at thumbs up? Everyone got it? From there, of course, you'll want to title your site. So just like a Google Doc, and a Google slide and everything Google, the title exists in the upper left-hand corner, and you just click on it and you can retitle it. From there, you'll want to select a theme, and you can change this. So it doesn't really matter which one you select at the beginning, but it's just a color scheme, little bit of fun decorating options. Diplomat is a good one. Pick a color that you like. And the themes exist over on the right-hand side under your little face or your little icon. You can kind of scroll through, pick one, maybe change the color. Ew, green's terrible. There's also an option to choose font styles for each of the different themes that you like. Is everyone still playing with themes? So from here, this is a good slide to keep for yourself. This is a suggested framework for what to actually include in your ePortfolio. So a landing page, which is your About Me section, that's like your home page. That's when people go find your website, that's the first page that they land on. I would also include 4 main landing pages with then subject areas underneath, which I'll show you how to do. A citizenship landing page, a college and career landing page, and an end of the year reflective landing page. So this is just kind of like the overview. And I'll show you how to make those pages in a second and the sub pages that go with it. So if we're going to create these 4 main landing pages, we're going to go to Pages. And you're going to hit the little plus button. The home one already exists for you. and you're just going to hit a page, and you're going to create a new page. And I will go back to the 4 main landing pages that you'll want to create, or you want to have students create. So if you hit the plus, open a new page, and then put academic excellence, do it again, citizenship excellence, do it again, college and career, do it again, reflections. And then you'll have your 5 main landing pages. And so it'll end up looking like this this screenshot up at the top where it says home, academic excellence, citizenship, college, reflections. Now, obviously, if you want to create one for just your class, you would choose whatever you want the kids' landing pages to be. It could be units.
Custom path lets you put like a link if you wanted to link like an outside website.
Mm-hmm.
So like you were saying earlier, if you had students make ePortfolios just for your class, and then for whatever reason the school decided to roll out like school-wide ones, they could use the custom path to put the link for your ePortfolio. So then when they clicked on that, it would take it to an outside link.
Mm-hmm.
Versus creating like a whole new page within the site.
How are we doing? I don't want to go too fast. Do we all understand how to do landing pages? Cool. Okay, so once you have a landing page, you'll want to do sub-pages. So you'll have noticed in like Trisha and Ulysses, the 2 student examples that I showed, that they had academic excellence, and then underneath academic excellence was nested the different years, and then nested underneath that was all their different subject areas. And so to do that, you'll do sub-pages. So if you click on academic excellence, the 3 dots on the side on the right side, there's an option to add a sub-page. So I added my 21-22 subpage, and then underneath 21-22, again with the 3 dots, you'll add subpage. Come back. And then this is where you'd put your different academic classes in. So they'd add, 7 of them or 6 of them, whatever. And again, if you were just doing this for your class, I would probably make my landing pages like my units maybe, and then I would do sub pages for different assignments. I don't know, there's lots of different things you could do. Brianna, what do you think?
Yeah, if you were making one specifically for your class, you could do it. I mean, you could do it that way. You could do it as an end of the semester or quarter reflection where they're picking one thing. Depends on how much time you want to spend and how detailed you want to get.
And so, I mean, really, the sky's the limit, and you can very easily delete pages and add pages, as you go.
Ethan's asking how many days it took.
So for us, we didn't go straight through. So we did it in advisory. It took 2 weeks. 2 weeks, I feel like, of advisory time to go step by step because we didn't push them hard, So we did like attendance during advisory. We did a little mini, because our school has like these mini like school-wide lesson-y things that we have to do. And then we took like 10 minutes to just create the shell and name it. And then the next day they did the mini lessons, and they opened up the their site and they added the 4 landing pages. And then the next day they added sub pages for the academic year. And then the next day, so it took like 2 weeks of like 15-minute increments. Like we only spent 15 to 20 minutes each day on it. Okay. Yeah, it totally depends on how much time you want to devote to it. Okay, do we have any questions on how to make landing pages or sub pages? My frame does not look like. How do you get along the side? Okay, so that's just about how you set up your theme. And your banner. Come back here. Which theme, Brianna, do you know which theme has the one that goes on the side? It has to do with the header type, yeah?
You can make any of them go on the side. It's in the settings. If you go to the cog.
Oh, there it is, the wheel.
So any theme that you choose, you can have it go on the side. There's that navigation side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer the side. I feel like all my sites have the side navigation. The top one, confusing when it gets to be several pages.
Yeah. My students, because the side one, when I was doing it, like it only gave you the little menu bar, and then the kids were like, where did all my stuff go? And they had to open it, so. So you can choose the settings, and then there's some like little just navigation stuff that you can play with. You can add images and things like that. Logos. Okay, so the next few slides are just, again, adding different landing pages and sub pages if you were rolling this out school-wide. And then once you had all of your pages created and all the sub pages created, then you would have them go through and begin to like decorate and fill. So adding content, if you have like landing pages that introduce what the subject is going to be about or what they will find on the different, on the different sub pages that they're about to explore. On content pages, there should be artifacts of excellent work, a description of the assignment, a reflection of what they learned, and pictures or actual links to the assignments. This is just kind of a quick overview of how to add content. And guys, I apologize that my internet is so slow. Like I'm clicking on things and it's just not happening. So when you want to fill and add content, you'll want to select the page that you want to add content to. So I'm just going to go to my home page and make sure that this is my name. If that's what you're doing. Oh my God, it's so slow. Underneath here, you'll see that it's all blank. And so you'll want to add, if you want to double click anywhere in the white area, you'll get a, Bernasconi calls this the rainbow wheel. I'm not really sure because it's got different colors. And this is just different things that you can add. So you can add a picture, you can upload something from your computer, you can add a link from Drive or an outside link. Another option is to go over to the right-hand side and hit insert, and these will give you some different layouts. I like the layouts to start with because it gives me something to like fill in, but it totally, depends on you. And again, you can delete anything and add anything. So I'm going to add this first layout. And so this gives me kind of a model of what I want to do. So this is all about me. And then underneath it says edit text, and this would be, a paragraph about yourself. And notice that a bar comes up, so you can change the size of the font, you can change the type of font, you can bold it, you can underline, everything that kind of you can do in a Google Doc, you can pretty much do within each text box that's on the site. Then over here, there's a little plus. This would be if you want to add an image, if you want to add a Drive link, if you want to add a YouTube video, if you want to add a calendar, if you want to add a map, so many things that you can choose from. Selecting images is cool because you can take one straight from your computer, or if you want something more generic, you can just do a Google image search and it just brings up a search bar, and you can just search for stuff out in the web. And then as you want to add content, again, you can just double click anywhere on the blank space and you can add more text. You can add a whole nother chunk of layout if you want. And it's a web page, so it'll just keep going down until you're finished. And then anything that you put in, you can take out. So maybe I like this layout, but I don't want this picture. So I can just put it in the trash. Now I just have a title. Maybe I don't need this little extra description box, so I'm just gonna throw it in the trash. And then it just becomes this. So it's very customizable. On the Insert tab, there are also different things that you could add. You could do a collapsible group, image carousel. You can add a button. What a button does is you would title it and it would be a hyperlink out somewhere else. You could add a YouTube video. So all most of the different things that you see in this color wheel that pops up are over here on the right-hand side as well in the Insert area. You can add a whole slideshow from your Drive. So it's really about playing with it and customizing. I know we're talking about ePortfolios, but I create websites all the time for things in my class, like for students to go, like I curate resources and put them in a site for like certain activities because I don't want them using like the web sometimes. Want to add anything, Brianna? Missing anything?
No, I think that's everything. I know that some people get frustrated because Google sites aren't as you can't do as much as you can do with other things like Weebly and Wix and all of those things, but I think it's a good starting point for students because they're already familiar with Google.
With the
So it looks very similar and the things that they can do are very similar. So even though it can't do all the cool things that some of those other websites can do, it's a good starting point.
Yeah.
I think about like when you learn how to write, we will learn how to write in a 5-paragraph essay format, and then we don't break rules until we know rules. And so Google Sites can help you learn the rules of making a site before you go off to another thing. And a lot of those other places are paid for. So you you can't get the features unless you pay for it, where Google is all free. And then there was one other thing I wanted to point out was that when students create their Google site, they create it with their student account. And then there was concerns that when they leave, they can't take their site with them. But Google has changed that, so you can change ownership of your website. So I know that I accidentally made my professional website on my school account, and then I was like, oh crap, it shouldn't be on there. But if you go up into the settings, you can share it and then change the ownership. So I shared it with my private account, and then I changed the owner to be me. So students can take it with them, because I know that a lot of teachers have concerns that once they leave, their district account goes away after a certain amount of time, and so then their site would. But you teach them how to share their site with their personal account and then change ownership. Like, you could go any of those and make them the owner instead of yourself.
Yeah. So this is the one. Oh, Brianna, I just accidentally removed you. This is the site that I made, like literally with my students. So when I was showing them how to do it, I made a site with them. So they could, well, one, I feel like it helped me pace myself because I was afraid I'd go too fast. And so if I had to click on the buttons to like show them how to do it, it helped me go slower. Oh my God, go away. Cancel. Go away, go away, go away. So this is the one, this is my like practice site, and I showed them how to put pictures and the different layouts and things like that. And then I made them do landing pages for, my internet is so slow, for their academic excellence. So I have 11th graders right now. So this is kind of their academic excellence landing page. This is their like, welcome to my 11th grade year. This is who I am this year. This is a picture of me. And like, this is what, I don't know, it was just like an introduction to their 11th grade year. And then underneath, I'm so frustrated right now. Come on, computer. And then underneath here, this would be, you know, where they would then go to their particular school, like class subject, and like put in their artifacts. And same thing with citizenship excellence. I made them a landing page. I made them make a landing page, and then I had them link, like, in this tab, you're going to see my community service and my digital citizenship and my civic engagement. And this would take the reader to that page.
Prompt is asking if you can go over how to publish the site and go back to edit and make changes.
Publish is really easy. You just go to publish at the top. And it will tell you, it will show you, this is like your current, this is the current, these are the changes that you've made. And then you would hit publish. It just kind of gives you like a stop to make sure that you want to actually publish the changes. And every time that you log into your site, you can make any edits that you want. And then sharing the link, there is the link up at the top. This is if you click here, it's going to copy the published link of this site. So theoretically, if you were to go onto this one, you could see it. So this is what it looks like for people landing on this page outside. And then you could go in to edit it again. So if I go onto this, if I find my own page on the World Wide Web, this little menu comes up at the bottom. that allows me to go in and edit things. There's a little pencil that pops up. My computer is going too slow. And it lives in their drive. So it's going to live wherever they created it. So if they just create it in their drive, it'll just be in a list in their drive, and they can search for it, or they can scroll for it. Or if you want to have them like create a folder, you could have them organize it. So if they don't publish it, then no one can see it, including you. I don't know, Brianna, what do you think about that?
Yeah, if they don't publish it, nobody will see it. There's different settings though. So they can publish it so it's only viewable by SUHSD, right? If you go into publish settings.
Right, publish settings. So there's a little arrow next to where it says publish. And there's some options for, this one is editors must review changes. No, that's not the right. Isn't it in view and?
It's in the little drop down. Or is it in the little 3 dots?
It could be. I know there's a way to like restrict, like so that people can't search for it, right?
I have to pull it up on my end.
Yeah, pull it up on your end because.
My dog is snoring so loud. Sorry if you can hear it.
We cannot. There is a way to make it so that it's not Googleable. Like people can't just type in the kid's name and like this would come up. They would have to just share it. Sure. I think that's. Yep, Kyle, I would definitely encourage your students to be mindful of their digital footprints, like what they should and shouldn't put on a site. Like this is supposed to be for, academic excellence and something that they'd want to showcase their best work to be able to show to a college or an employer. So for sure, that's a good teachable moment, Fallon. Agreed.
Yeah. So if you click in it's in the share, the little person with the plus, and then at the bottom where it says links, you can hit change, and then that's where you can restrict the link. So you can make it published public, published restricted, published only SUHSD, or you can remove the link completely. But we're right at break time. The one last thing I was going to say before we go to break was collecting of your student sites, because that came up earlier. So the best way to do that is just create a Google form and then have all your students submit like their name and their link, and then you'll get a spreadsheet, right? That Google form will have a spreadsheet with all of their links, and so then it's easy to click and open all of their sites. Or you can also have them post their link on a Padlet.
Or you can have them.
Their links into
you could post a Google Doc and give them all editable access. But the biggest thing is they make sure that they hit publish before they give you the link, because if not, then you will only see what they have published, right? So if they made a bunch of changes and added a bunch of stuff and didn't hit publish, like you'll see whatever version it was before.
So we're going to send you off. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say every time they make any changes, they should make sure to hit publish.
Publish. So we're going to send you off to break. We will see you back here in 15 minutes to sign in again. And then feel free to percolate on any questions that you have, because we'll be here for the next 45 minutes to answer them for you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So the idea after break is for you to keep fiddling with and creating and ask questions if you get stuck. All right, Gan, I'm going to stop presenting because my internet is too slow for this. Like, I can't even hear you right now.
I didn't really say anything loudly. My box didn't come up.
Okay.
When I talk, I just cough through it, so. I'm just gonna pull up some examples of Google Sites that I have that aren't kid ones.
Yeah, I can't hear you. What? I have a ton of Google Sites too, like ones that I've made for little different projects that we've done, you know?
Mm-hmm. The staff portal is a Google site.